So when you first put your camera on your Glidecam, you're going to lift it up like this and you're going to see where it goes. So you first notice that my cap's on. Take that off because you're not going to be Glidecamming with your cap, and any weight that is currently on, if you take it off, it's going to unbalance your Glidecam again. So have it set up exactly how you plan on Glidecamming. If you're going to put a microphone on, this is the time to do it before you start balancing. Make sure you have a card in there. Make sure your battery's in there, because after you put something else in, once it's balanced, it's going to throw it off. Now there's 3 points of balance that you need to cover to get your Glidecam balanced perfectly. The first is going to be left to right balance, your front to back balance, and then your top to bottom balance. And they all pivot around this gimbal right here. So I'm going to show you how to check for each of those balances. The first is your left to right. Looking at its balance right now, it is leaning forward and to the right. In order to get it to lean left, you have these knobs on the left and on the back. By turning this knob on the left to the left, it brings your whole Glidecam to the left like this. Now it's too far left, so a little bit more right to bring it right. A little bit more left. And that's about right, but now it's leaning forward. So to get it leaning back, this knob on the back, if you twist it left, it'll bring it back. If you twist it right, it'll bring it forward. So I'm going to twist this thing left to bring it back, because it's currently leaning too far forward. And now it's about right. These knobs are meant for minor adjustments, and they actually go a pretty long ways, but if it's way off, then you're going to have to either take this plate off and undo your screw and find a new hole and adjust accordingly, or move this plate forward or back. But in my case, like I said, and in most cases, as long as you pick somewhere close to the middle, the Glidecam knob should be able to handle it and make the adjustments necessary. Now to check your third point of balance, your top to bottom, you're going to do what's called a drop time. And the drop time is the amount of time it takes for your Glidecam to go from horizontal to vertical. And a good drop time recommended by Glidecam is 2 to 3 seconds. I personally prefer for it to be around 2 seconds. So we're going to check and see what my current Glidecam drop time is at. 1/1000. It's less than a second, so it's way too fast. So in order to fix that, if your drop time is too fast like mine is, you have one of two options. The first is to shorten your shaft right here, or take off some weights from here. Now, especially when you're in the field, you're not going to have time to be exchanging weights, so your best option is usually going to be the shaft. So I'm going to go ahead and shorten the shaft for you and show you. And these are going to be minute adjustments. I mean, that was maybe a centimeter. And we'll check how that did. Back to our drop time. 1/1000. That's a little bit slower, but it's not slow enough. So we're going to do another centimeter here. Go for our drop time again. Looking for 2 seconds. 1/1000, 2/1000. Almost there. I think we're just a little bit fast still. So we're almost down to the very bottom here on our Glidecam, about as low as we can go, as short as we can make this thing. Here we go again. 1/1000, 2/1000. That's about 2 seconds right there. Let's try it again. 1/1000, 2/1000. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. Once I have my drop time, we'll test the balance again. It's leaning to the left, so you can see. Leaning to the left. So that means I'm going to take my side knob and turn it right. Now I'll try it again. And see, I only turned it 3 times and now it's leaning to the left. So it's somewhere in the middle there. That looks like it's about right. So in order to check your balance, hold the Glidecam where you plan on Glidecamming from. So I personally hold the Glidecam out in front and to the left like this with my left hand. So I'm going to hold it there, get it as steady as I can, and then let go and see what it does. So if it doesn't move, that means it's pretty well balanced. And there you have your Glidecam all balanced. And as you're shooting, things will slightly get knocked off balance, or if you change focal points, it's going to change the balance as well. So every time it changes, your balance should be pretty much set, but you'll have to make minor adjustments. Now I just switched it from 16 millimeter to 35 millimeter on my zoom, and look what it did to it. It threw it to the right and forward. So that means I got to turn to the left to bring it left, and turn this left to bring it back. That's a little too far back, so bring it right to bring it forward, and bring it right to bring it low right. And we're set again. So as you're shooting throughout, like you'll make the initial balance. It might take 5 minutes at the beginning of a shoot. And then as the day goes on, you'll have to make minor adjustments as you go, but it should only take 10 seconds every time you make a minor adjustment with focal length. So we decided halfway through our shoot that we're gonna put a microphone on. I got a Rode VideoMic Pro. Now we're very back heavy and we're top heavy. So that little microphone did a huge difference on our balance. So we can add more weights or we can extend our shaft here. So I'm going to show you both. I'm going to extend the shaft right now. And I'm just guessing again how much I have to extend it. And that was too much because now our drop time is less than a second. So it's somewhere in between there. Tightened it again. 1,000, 2. Needs to be a little bit longer of a drop time, so we're going to lower it even a little bit more, which means in the end, I've only adjusted it maybe a centimeter to adjust for that microphone being put on. 1,000, 2, 1,000. That's not quite enough. A little bit longer. Again, only a matter of millimeters. 1,000, 2, 1,000. That looks about right. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Good. So we're around 2 seconds again, but we're still back heavy. So to get it to move forward, we twist right on the back knob to get it to come forward. Test it again. Still a little back heavy, and it's now left heavy. So to get it to turn right, we twist this side knob right. Still a little left heavy, so turn it right one more time. It's slightly forward heavy, so I'm turning this back knob just a little left to bring it back a little more. So when you try and get that nice and steady and then let go, it should stay perfectly still like that. You should be able to make some movements and not see it move. So that's pretty good. Check our drop time. 1,000, 2, 1,000. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Good. That's a little fast, but that'll do for now. So there you go. Your Glidecam is now all set up. So I'm now going to show you the option of putting more weights on the bottom. Now because we're so low on this shaft, we may not be able to add another weight on each side, but we're going to try. So I'm going to put this as low as it goes, because like I said, I personally like putting on as much weight as possible because it makes for better resistance against wind. So I'm going to put a 4th weight on the bottom here. So let's check now. Let's see if this is too heavy on the bottom or if that works for us. Here we go, testing the drop time. 1,000. So it's a little too fast. I'm going to get this thing as low as I can. 1,000. Yeah, so my setup on top is too light to be able to accommodate 4 weights on each side on the bottom. Now, this will happen even if you have 1 weight or no weights on the bottom if your setup on top is way too light. For instance, if you buy like a Canon T2i or T3i with a kit lens, your total weight is only going to be about 1.1 pounds, which means if there's only 1.1 pounds on top, you have to equal that on the bottom, which is going to be 1, maybe less than 1 weights on the bottom. So it's better to have more weight on top to be able to adjust for having weight on the bottom. Like I said, the more weight, the easier it is to stay balanced and Glidecam smooth shots with.